The dim fluorescent lights flickered like dying stars in the hallway of Whispering Pines nursing home, casting long shadows that seemed to swallow the echoes of forgotten lives. Eleanor Hawthorne, her frail hands trembling on the armrests of her wheelchair, locked eyes with Mia, the young volunteer whose visits were the only sparks of warmth in her endless gray days. "Come closer, dear," she rasped, her voice a fragile thread about to snap. "I must tell you about my late sister's secret before it's too late." Mia leaned in, her heart pounding as the scent of lavender soap and stale linens filled the air. Eleanor had always been a mystery, a woman whose stories danced on the edge of truth and memory. But this felt different, urgent, like a storm brewing in the silence. The nursing home was eerily quiet that evening. The usual murmurs of residents hushed, as if the walls themselves were listening. Eleanor's eyes, clouded with age but sharp with unspoken pain, bore into Mia's. "My sister, Lydia, was the light of our family. We grew up in a small town during the Great Depression, 2 peas in a pod, inseparable. But war changes everything." She paused, her breath ragged, as memories flooded back like a tidal wave. Mia had been volunteering here for 2 years, reading books and sharing tea with the elderly. But Eleanor was her favorite, a woman who spoke of bygone eras with such vividness that it felt like time travel. As Eleanor continued, her voice gained a haunting rhythm. "Lydia was beautiful, with hair like spun gold and a laugh that could melt the coldest heart. In 1942, when the boys went off to fight in World War II, she fell in love with a soldier named Thomas. He promised her the world, but promises are fragile things." Mia nodded, encouraging her, though a chill ran down her spine. The room felt smaller, the air thicker, as if the secret was already weaving its web around them. Eleanor's story unfolded like an old photograph coming to life. She described their childhood home, a modest farmhouse where the sisters shared a room, whispering dreams under quilted blankets. Lydia dreamed of becoming a nurse, helping the wounded, while Eleanor wanted to teach, to shape young minds. But fate had other plans. When Thomas shipped out, Lydia discovered she was pregnant. "She confided in me first," Eleanor whispered, tears welling. "We were terrified. Unwed mothers were shunned back then, labeled as sinners." Mia squeezed Eleanor's hand, feeling the papery skin and the pulse of a life ebbing away. The volunteer had her own secrets, a strained relationship with her mother, who had abandoned her young, but she pushed them aside, focusing on the woman before her. "What happened next?" Mia asked softly, her voice laced with empathy. Eleanor sighed, her gaze drifting to the window where rain pattered against the glass like hesitant fingers. "We decided to keep it hidden. I helped her, pretended the baby was mine when it came time to explain to our parents. Lydia went away to visit relatives, but really, she was in a home for unwed mothers." The revelation hung heavy, a testament to sisterly love and sacrifice. Mia's mind raced. She imagined the fear, the isolation, the unbreakable bond between the two women. As the tale progressed, Eleanor painted vivid scenes of post-war America. Lydia returned, childless in the eyes of the world, but the baby, a girl named Rose, was raised as Eleanor's daughter. "I married a kind man, but he knew the truth. We built a life around that lie, for Lydia's sake. She went on to marry Thomas when he returned, scarred but alive." The kitchen built as Eleanor described the guilt that gnawed at them both, the stolen glances at family gatherings where Rose called Eleanor mother and Lydia auntie. Mia's heart ached with the weight of it. She thought of her own life, the volunteer work that filled the void left by her absent family. "Why tell me now?" she asked, her voice trembling. Eleanor's lips curved into a faint smile. "Because, dear, secrets have a way of finding their way out. And Rose, she's out there, not knowing the full truth." The room seemed to hold its breath, the silence amplifying the emotional torrent. Mia felt a surge of protectiveness, a desire to honor this confession. But then, a twist emerged unexpectedly. As Eleanor spoke of Rose's life, a knock echoed at the door. In walked Mrs. Hargrove, the stern nursing home director, her face etched with concern. "Eleanor, you have a visitor," she said curtly. Mia turned, expecting perhaps a distant relative, but instead, a middle-aged woman with golden hair streaked with gray stepped in. Rose herself, though Eleanor hadn't seen her in years due to a falling out over trivial matters. Rose's eyes widened at the sight of her mother, frail yet defiant. "Mom, I came as soon as I could. The nurse called about your health." But Eleanor's expression shifted from relief to panic. This unexpected arrival changed everything. The secret, meant for Mia's ears alone, now risked exploding in the presence of the very person it concerned. The tension thickened as Rose approached, hugging Eleanor tightly. Mia stepped back, observing the reunion with a mix of joy and apprehension. Rose chattered about her life, her job as a teacher, her 2 children unaware of the undercurrents. Eleanor glanced at Mia, a silent plea in her eyes. "Not yet." As the conversation flowed, Mia excused herself briefly, her mind whirling. She wandered the silent halls, where other residents dozed in their chairs, lives reduced to whispers. Returning, she found Eleanor and Rose laughing over old photos Rose had brought. But beneath the surface, the secret simmered. Eleanor resumed her story later that night, after Rose left, promising to return. "Rose thinks I'm her mother, but Lydia was the one who carried her, who sang lullabies in secret." The narrative delved deeper into the sisters' bond, the letters they exchanged during Lydia's absence, filled with coded messages of love and longing. Mia's role evolved from listener to confidant. She shared her own story, how her mother left when she was 5, leaving her with grandparents who raised her with stern love. "Secrets destroy families," Mia said, her voice cracking. Eleanor nodded, the human value of forgiveness shining through. "But they also protect. I protected Lydia from shame, and in turn, she protected me from loneliness." The first part of the story built to a crescendo as Eleanor revealed more details. Lydia's marriage to Thomas was strained by the secret, leading to arguments and eventual divorce. Thomas never knew about Rose, dying in ignorance. Eleanor carried the burden alone after Lydia passed from cancer 20 years ago. As the clock ticked toward midnight, Eleanor whispered, "Find Rose for me, Mia. Tell her when I'm gone. Let her know the love that shaped her." Mia promised, tears streaming, the kitsch tin of impending loss palpable. Yet, the twist with Rose's visit lingered, adding layers. What if Rose overheard? The uncertainty heightened the emotion, emphasizing themes of redemption and truth. The silent nursing home seemed less oppressive now, filled with the echoes of shared humanity. Mia left that night transformed, carrying the weight of Eleanor's words like a sacred trust. Eleanor's health declined rapidly the next morning, her breath shallow as nurses hovered like ghosts in white. Mia arrived early, coffee in hand, her mind replaying the previous night's revelations. The volunteer program had taught her patience, but nothing prepared her for this intimate unraveling of a life. Sitting by the bed, Mia held Eleanor's hand. "Tell me more about Lydia," she urged gently. Eleanor's eyes fluttered open, a spark igniting. Lydia was fearless. After the war, she became a nurse, just as she dreamed. But the secret haunted her. She volunteered at orphanages, perhaps seeking absolution. The story wove through decades, painting Lydia as a complex, figure-loving, yet tormented. Eleanor described their annual trips to the seaside, where they'd walk the beach, toes in sand, confessing fears. One year, Lydia broke down. "I should have kept her," she sobbed. "I held her, promising it was for the best." Mia listened, her empathy deepening. She thought of her grandparents, who shielded her from her mother's abandonment details. Perhaps secrets were shields, not swords. As the day progressed, another unexpected element surfaced: a personnel foo in the form of Mr. Jenkins, an elderly resident from down the hall. Wheelchair-bound and usually silent, he rolled in uninvited, his eyes twinkling with mischief. "Heard you talking about Lydia Hawthorne," he grumbled. Mia startled. How did he know? Mr. Jenkins revealed he was Thomas's brother, a veteran himself. Thomas mentioned Lydia often in letters. Said she had a sadness he couldn't touch. This twist shifted perspectives, adding male insight to the female-centric tale. Jenkins spoke of Thomas's regrets, his suspicions about the child, but his love that endured. Eleanor, surprised but touched, engaged with Jenkins. "You knew my brother-in-law?" The conversation unearthed forgotten letters Thomas wrote, hidden in Jenkins's possessions. He promised to share them, injecting hope amid sorrow. The drama escalated when Rose returned unexpectedly, arms full of flowers. "Mom, I couldn't stay away. Seeing Jenkins, she frowned. Who's this? Explanations followed, but tension brewed as Jenkins alluded vaguely to family secrets. Mia navigated carefully, steering talk to lighter topics. Inside, her heart raced. The twist of Jenkins's involvement amplified emotions, highlighting how lives interconnect in unexpected ways. Eleanor's narrative continued in whispers. She detailed Rose's childhood, the birthday parties where Lydia baked cakes with extra care, the subtle ways she mothered from afar. Lydia never had other children. Rose was her everything, in secret. Themes of sacrifice resonated. Mia shared more personally. My mom left because of her own secrets, addiction, shame. I forgave her years ago. Eleanor squeezed her hand. Forgiveness heals, child. Afternoon brought quiet reflection. Eleanor napped, and Mia chatted with Rose, learning about her life, a dedicated teacher, much like Eleanor wished to be. Rose confessed strains in her marriage, echoing Lydia's. When Eleanor woke, she urged Mia to promise again. Tell Rose the truth. Let her know Lydia's love. The volunteer nodded, the weight profound. Jenkins returned with letters, yellowed pages of Thomas's handwriting. Reading aloud, they revealed his undying love for Lydia, his guesses about the child. If there's a secret, I forgive it, one letter said. Tears flowed, the human value of understanding binding them. As evening fell, the nursing home's silence felt comforting, a cocoon for healing. Mia left, pondering the twist Jenkins's arrival, the letters that enriched the tale. But unresolved tension lingered. Would Rose discover prematurely? The story's heart beat with anticipation. The following week blurred into a haze of visits and vigils. Eleanor's condition stabilized slightly, thanks to medication, but the air hummed with inevitability. Mia balanced her volunteer duties with this personal mission, her bond with Eleanor deepening like roots in soil. Resuming the story, Eleanor delved into Lydia's later years. After Thomas left, Lydia threw herself into work. She nursed veterans, mending bodies while her heart remained fractured. Eleanor described Lydia's diary, hidden away, filled with entries about Rose milestones observed from the sidelines. Mia absorbed it all, her own life mirroring in subtle ways. She confided in Eleanor about tracking down her mother recently, finding her sober and remorseful. We talked. It hurt, but it freed me. A new twist introduced itself midweek. Sarah, Mia's estranged cousin and fellow volunteer, appeared at the nursing home. Sarah, bubbly yet intrusive, overheard snippets of conversation. "What's this about secrets?" she asked playfully, but her eyes held curiosity. Sarah's presence altered dynamics. She was Rose's age, with a similar golden hair, evoking Lydia's ghost. Eleanor, sensing opportunity, included her in talks. "Young lady, life is full of hidden paths." Sarah shared her story, adopted as a child, always wondering about roots. This parallel emphasized themes of identity and belonging, heightening emotional stakes. Mia felt jealous at first, but recognized the value in shared perspectives. The narrative intensified as Eleanor revealed Lydia's final days. Battling cancer, Lydia confessed regrets to Eleanor. "Tell Rose someday," she begged. Eleanor promised, but fear delayed it. Rose visited daily now, bringing grandchildren who filled the room with laughter. One child, a girl with Lydia's eyes, climbed onto Eleanor's lap. "Grandma, tell a story." Eleanor obliged, weaving tales that skirted the truth. Jenkins joined occasionally, his gruff demeanor softening. He read more letters, revealing Thomas's post-divorce life, lonely, but proud of Lydia's strength. Mia's role grew. She transcribed Eleanor's words, preserving the legacy. "This is for Rose," Eleanor said. The volunteer felt honored, the kitsch tin of time running out palpable. Sarah's involvement peaked when she discovered an old photo in Eleanor's belongings. Lydia holding baby Rose. "Who is this?" Sarah asked. Eleanor hesitated, then whispered, "My sister," with her daughter. The slip sent ripples. Sarah, piecing it together, confronted Mia privately. "Is Rose?" Mia nodded, swearing her to secrecy. This auxiliary twist added urgency, forcing Mia to consider timing. Evenings brought introspection. Eleanor spoke of forgiveness. Lydia forgave herself in the end. "I must too. The human element shown no one is defined by mistakes." As the part closed, Eleanor weakened again. "Soon, Mia. Tell her soon. The silence of the home amplified the heartbeat of the story. Dawn broke on what would be Eleanor's final day. The nursing home bathed in golden light that belied the sorrow within. Mia rushed in, alerted by a nurse's call. Eleanor lay pale, her breaths labored, but her eyes lit up at Mia's arrival. "Gather them," Eleanor whispered. Mia nodded, phoning Rose and even Sarah, who had become an unlikely ally. Jenkins wheeled in too, completing the circle. The climax unfolded with raw emotion. Eleanor, mustering strength, began, "Rose, my dear, there's something you must know." She recounted the full secret: Lydia's pregnancy, the switch, the lifelong love disguised as auntly affection. Rose's face crumpled, shock turning to tears. "Why hide it?" she cried. Eleanor explained the era's stigma, the protective lie. "Lydia wanted you to have a normal life. She loved you fiercely." Sarah, the twist character, offered comfort, sharing her adoption journey. "Blood doesn't define family. Love does." Jenkins added Thomas's letters, showing his indirect forgiveness. Mia watched, her heart swelling with the narrative's resolution. She shared her own forgiveness story, tying threads of humanity. As Eleanor faded, Rose held her hand. "I forgive you, Maman whatever. Thank you for the truth." Eleanor's smile was peaceful. "Tell your children about Lydia. Keep her alive." In the end, the secret freed them all. Mia, transformed, vowed to continue volunteering, honoring connections. Eleanor's passing was gentle, surrounded by love. The nursing home, once silent, echoed with shared memories. The story closed on themes of redemption, the power of truth, and enduring bonds, a testament to human resilience.